lions and tigers and deer. A large majority of the 6 million auto accidents, oh my God, 6 million auto accidents each year are preventable. What does it mean are preventable? Can be prevented. Many accidents are caused by the traditional risks. What are the traditional risks of accident? Cell phone use, drunk driving, excessive speed. At this point, the writer is considering adding the following sentence. Statistics show that people are 23 times more likely to be involved in collisions, like accidents, when they are or when they were texting and driving. Somebody would say, Mr. خلاص and I got it. It is going to be yes. But this is unfair. This is not complete. Why, teacher? Because here it's a placement what? Placement question. We need to place that sentence. So it is early to decide. What you need to do is that you need to go to the other what? To the other part of the paragraph. And the other part of the paragraph, يا داليا يا صلاح, reads that way. A recent set of research findings, بعض من نتائج الأبحاث الجديدة, however, has been suggesting that nearly 1/6 of these accidents could be prevented by a single factor. What is the simple factor? Mountain lions. Mountain what? Mountain lions. Okay, if we have read these parts, okay, يعني both of them, يبقى احنا هنا كده يا شباب ال previous sentence discuss what يا شباب here, as you can see here. Previous sentences discuss preventable auto accidents and list their causes. ايه هي الكازز؟ اللي هي يا بنتي cell phone use, drunk driving, excessive whatsoever, okay. لكن كمان the following sentence introduces what؟ ايه هي following sentence اهي؟ introduces a single potential preventive factor اللي هو mountain lions. طيب ايه هي proposed sentence؟ ايه هي الجملة المقترحة اللي هنا يا بنتي؟ ليها علاقة بالموضوع؟ proposed sentence would add information stating that statistics show that people are 20 times more likely to be involved in what? In collision when they are what? Texting and driving. وبصراحة this one is irrelevant بالمرة. This one is irrelevant بالمرة. حد عايز يناقشني في الموضوع ده ولا لا؟ حد عايز يقول لي مشكلة هنا؟ طيب. Those people who started telling me it's A, teacher it's A, or teacher it's B, please, you need to hold your horses. You need to be patient. You need to be patient. Why? Because the rest of the paragraph is not read yet. يا عمرو برافو عليك. So we have to go for what يا شباب؟ بصراحة D. And why D? Because it deviates from the paragraph main topic and argument. What does mean deviates? Means what? Diverts, okay, from the what? From the main focus of what? Of the passage. Moves away. Thank you very much. I will write this down. Moves away. Thank you. Hopefully, تاني Sarah, she didn't get it. Sarah, you understand? احنا يا بنتي in the first part we talked about what? About the 6 million auto accidents each year are preventable. We can prevent it. And then here he listed some of the risks of what? Of the accidents, like the causes of the accident. Cell phone used, drunk driving, excessive speed. وفي second part of the sentence يا بنتي في الباراجراف he said a recent set of research findings however suggests that nearly 1/6 of these accidents could be prevented by a single factor. What is the single factor? It's the mountain lions. And the whole passage would go that way. It's about what? The mountain lions, okay? So in that case, this proposed sentence, this suggested sentence is what? Is irrelevant, does not belong, okay? It diverts, moves away from the what? The main focus of what? Of the paragraph. Is it clear? حد قال لي C. No, because it gives a detail that contradicts the paragraph's main focus. يا بنتي, how can you say the paragraph main focus ولسه ده this part is only a part of a paragraph. A part of a paragraph. The rest of the paragraph يا شباب يا بنات, the rest of the paragraph is here. That's the rest of the paragraph. Sarah, hopefully you understand. Then let's go to question number 2. And here in 2 طبعا يا شباب we have to go for what? Definitely we have to go for D. Okay? 2D. برافو عليكم. وأنا هسميها يا شباب consistency of what? Of tenses. Consistency of tenses. If you go even to the previous paragraph, you'll find here many are caused, which is what? Which is present, right? Present in the passive form. وهنا يا شباب أنا بقول a recent set of research findings, however, suggests that nearly 1/6 of these accidents could be. Somebody would say, teacher, where is the main subject here? The main subject is a recent set. And set here, as you know, it is a collective what? It is a collective noun. For those people, and I want you to write down this, please, okay? What are the most common collective nouns? Who can tell me? Okay, if you're talking about people, very good. You're talking about board, and they are dealt as what? As singular, okay? Dealt with as singular. Class, committee, family, group طبعا, family, group, panel, like board, okay, and even staff. If you find these words, so they are the main what? The main subjects. Okay, team طبعا, team, thank you. If you're talking about animals, who can tell me? Flock of birds. Herd, thank you. What else? Pod, swarm. School, I say school of fish. Okay? And things. If we're talking about things, what are the collective nouns?
Crowd.
Bunch, crowd, thank you. Bunch. Maybe I can say crowd of people. I'll put crowd here يا بنتي. Bunch, collection, maybe. Collection, fleet of ships, pack, and set. So, the rationale behind what we said right now is that a recent set of research findings. Don't go for findings, we have to go for what? For the recent set. Recent set, this is the main subject, which is what? Singular, simply because set is a collective noun, and all collective nouns in SAT are dealt with as singular. خلاص كده؟ فI'll go for suggest. Not only subject verb agreement هنا كمان، لكن كمان في consistency of tenses. The previous tense and even the following tense is in the present. يعني ايه مستر ال following tense؟ يعني يا حبيبي هنا كمان nearly 1/6 of these accidents could be prevented. طب could be prevented يا مستر, is it singular or is it past or present? طبعا this is present. Here could mean what يا شباب? It is what, or it shows a sort of what? Possibility. And if it shows a possibility here, so this is what? Completely present. Okay? Yes, sometimes could is the past of can, okay? But this is a different issue here. Here could for what? For possibility. So it is still present. So present and the previous tense here are caused present. So we need to what يا شباب? We need to show some kind of consistency and use the same tense. Let us go to question number 3. Which choice most effectively combines the underlying what? The underlying sentence. And I want you to write here precision. We need something precise, and concision. Precision and what? And concision. Or concision. in French. Okay? طيب. In terms of concision or concision and precision. تعالوا لي هنا كده يا شباب. We read from here. We probably want to start conjuring funny images. Conjuring like visualizing maybe funny images of mountain lions with speed guns or a taste for cell phones. Before we do that, let's what? Back up a bit. Let us back up a bit. We need to join them. And the answer, a lot of you said now A. Let us read A. Before we start conjuring funny images of mountain lions with speed guns or a taste for cell phones, let us back up a bit. Till here it's fine. Let us go for B. Let's back up a bit before we start conjuring images like the funny ones. Like the funny ones, أنا بالنسبة لي here it's a sort of what? Redundant. Simply you can say conjuring funny images, but don't say like the funny ones. So it's redundant, it's a bit wordy. If you want to say it, that's fine. Okay? طيب, what about C? C, it's a bit wordy and we have also semicolon. Semicolon is not recommended. We probably want to start conjuring funny images of mountain lions with speed guns or a taste for cell phones. Semicolon before, of course, I will never go for it. And at the same time, it is wordy as well. What about D? Let's back up a bit before we can talk about mountain lions with speed guns and a taste for cell phones. That we, there is a sort of what? Repetition, which is not recommended here. So in that case, A is the best fit. Clear يا شباب? طيب. Let us go for number 4. The writer is considering deleting the underlined sentence. Should the sentence be kept or what? Or deleted? So what we need to do, to read before and after. To read before and after يا محمد. طيب, let us read the sentence before, and I'm going to start from here. The fact is that nearly 1.2 million collisions each year occur between automobiles and deer. And then the eastern part of the United States is at a special risk for these collisions because deer tend to roam freely and plentifully around the what? And around the region. Okay? For all these their adaptation, there means what? The deer adaptations to human life, deer have not. So the main focus of the whole paragraph, mainly what يا شباب? Mainly the deer. So for me, I'll go for kept. Is it A or B? Let us read A. Kept because it provides a detail that explains the statistic given in the previous sentence. Is there any statistic given in the previous sentence? Yes, it's here. 1.2 million collisions, okay? So definitely I'll go for what? I'll go for A. Hopefully you understand. Let us start number 5. And number 5 يا شباب, it has to do with what? Consistency of pronouns. Consistency of pronouns. Part of the reason that deer populations, and here I'm talking about what? Deer or deer populations? Hi Zainab, we're talking about what? Deer populations. And of course, deer populations, it goes without saying, it is what? It is plural. Okay? Somebody might ask me, Mr. هو يا مستر deer, is deer singular or plural? Okay? Look, I'm gonna tell you this عشان ننهي القصة دي خالص. Deers sometimes accepted, believe it or not. It's accepted as plural, but it is rarely used. يعني في النهاية ما فيش حد بيستخدمها كتير. Okay? And always used with what? With irregular as irregular plural form. زيها زي ايه deer يا شباب؟ زيها زي deer, زي fish, sheep, same thing, same idea. Okay? So in that case here, part of the reason that deer populations, here I'm not talking about deer, I'm talking about the populations of deer, which is plural, have grown as much as they. So they here refers to what? To the deer population, so it's correct as is. Hopefully you understand. It's an easy question. Then, number 6. To make this paragraph most logical, sentence 4 should be placed here. Deer are thus able to reproduce without restriction. Okay? And let us read every word accurately. Deer are thus, therefore, able to reproduce without restriction, without limits. طيب, to make this paragraph most logical, sentence 4 should be placed before sentence 1, after sentence 1, after sentence 2, where it is now. Forget about what, where it is now. I'm going to tell you why now, okay? Let us read sentence number 1. Part of the reason that deer populations have grown as much as they have is that deer face no natural predators in the eastern what? In the eastern states. Okay, for sure it's not before sentence number 1. Okay, deer are thus, still logically speaking, it has to be after sentence 1. Large scale development and hunting have eliminated this threat. ده أنا عندي كمان sentence number 2 كمان أقوى منها كمان. Large scale development and hunting have eliminated this threat. So if the threat is eliminated, هجيب بعده على طول دي يا شباب. دي هنا ودي هنا. Okay. تاني يا شباب. Large scale development and hunting have eliminated this threat. Deer are thus able to reproduce without restriction. لا أنا مش هروح after sentence 1. I'll go after sentence 1. 2 is much better. Let us go to question number 7. Bew opines the mountain lions population for the west as evidence. And عايزكم تكتبوا كلمة opine يا شباب. Opine means what? Give opinion. That's very formal. Somebody said or express opinion. Somebody said cite. وعايزكم كلكم لو سمحتوا تكتبوا عليها ايه يا شباب؟ ها. It's idiomatic by the way يا داليا. Cite as evidence. Cite as evidence, that's idiomatic. Okay, we cannot change. So cite as evidence. Says of course you know the meaning. Proclaims means what? Announce. Announce officially, which has nothing to do with us here. Hopefully people, when you start reading this, you complete and you say the mountain lions population of the west as evidence. So we go for cite as evidence, like what? Refer to. So cite here means what? Refer to. Number 8, and we start it from here. Pew cites the mountain population of the west as evidence that these big cats can coexist in close proximity with people. In these big cats اللي هم ايه يا بنتي الماونتن lions can coexist, can live in close proximity, very close with people, with very low conflicts. Of course we have to go for A. A is very clear, okay? Teacher, somebody will say, of course Yarania, it's A. Mr. Let us, I mean, of course, when refers only what? To time, you know this. Which always what يا شباب? Preceded by a comma. Okay, دايما بلاقيها كده يا شباب. Of course, or انتوا طبعا عارفين or this is conjunction ملاش علاقة بالموضوع خالص. One of the what? Of the fanboys, okay? Question number 9 here, and I'm going to start reading from here because this is transition question. And with the transition question, I need to read extensively. يعني ايه يا مستر؟ أنا لازم أفهم الكلام ده كله وبعد كمان إيه؟ أفهم ده. طيب, I'm going to start from here. Obviously, it will be difficult to get public sentiment on her side, Pew's side. The thought of encounter mountain lions in the wild chills most of us. We said it today, chills most of us, like scares most of us to the bone. And it does not seem that introducing this fierce animal, mountain lion, back into the wild would be beneficial enough to offset its terrorizing coasts, to balance its coasts. Therefore, as a result, Pew and her team say these predators could save approximately 5 times as many people from deer-related deaths as they might endanger though unprovoked what attacks. Of course, not inevitably, unavoidably, Not furthermore, not therefore, but it is what? It is still. Still here means what? Means however, means yet, means nevertheless، اللي هي معناها ومع ذلك. طبعا contradiction, contrast. Perfect. Inevitably, for those people who forgot today, inevitably means what? Unavoidable. Unavoidably, unstoppably. Okay, perfect. Furthermore means what? Besides or in addition, of course, you are aware of this. Perfect. So as you can see here, there is a contrast. There is a contrast, okay? If you still cannot figure it out, so please read it again, okay? The thought of meeting mountain lions in the wild would scare us. And it does not seem to. That's something negative. We have got this negative attitude. But, or however, Pugh and her team say, these predators could save something. So negative to positive, we have to go for what? For still. Hopefully you understand. Then, number 10. The question now is whether the data, see the data? Data or data are, it's plural, okay? So we have still datum, and the plural is data or data, both are right. The question now is whether the data are sufficiently overcoming public concerns. I will never go for this. Too much, okay? What about the data are a good amount in overcoming? Apart from being wordy, it is what? It does not work in this context. And for me, it's a bit awkward. It doesn't sound okay here. The data are enough to overcome, and that's the right idiomatic, okay? That's the right one. Enough for, we don't say enough for, we always say enough to. Write it down, please. Enough to plus what? Verb in the base for. Then let us go to question number 11. Question number 11, and I'm going to start it from here. Everybody said it's a very easy question, I understand. 11, I'm going to start it from here. Yeah. If we, circle we, if we have accepted the risks of driving tons of metal many miles an hour down the road, it is possible that our fear, our together with we, and I think it is what? It is correct. It's an easy, a walk in the park question, okay? Thank you very much. Any questions?